All right, guys. Thanks everybody for coming. It's good to be back out on the field.
What's it like preparing for Lane Stadium? I know you've been there before. The noise.
I've been there before in COVID, so it was dark and eerie and cold. We've got some guys on the staff who have been there, and we've researched it and listened to it a little bit. It's loud, so we have to make that. We have to try to do our best job of simulating that. I know it's hard, but that's what we have to do. So we started off today and did it. We got to be able to handle it and embrace it.
What is it called? Silent cadence? What are they?
Yeah, there's different things you can do. You can go on a silent cadence. You can tap the. You can do a whole bunch of different things.
Okay.
You can't use your normal verbal cadence because no one's going to hear you if it gets really loud. So there's a bunch of things that you can do, and we've been working on them, and we'll continue to do that.
Coach, Saturday, Phil talked about the loss after the game and said he wanted to sting. How long do you want that to sting for players before they completely flush it and move on to Virginia Tech?
Usually last some people a lot longer than others, but you got to flush it and move on. And by the time we get back Monday and really Sunday, by the time we have to get back to work as a staff, we have to move on. And that's what we did.
More along those lines, have you seen people move on? Do you feel like it's in the past completely at this point? Or?
Yeah, I mean, we've lost games before. You got to figure out what you did well and what you didn't do well and why you lost the game. Now it's on to Virginia Tech, guys. That's over. I've talked to you Sunday about it. I've talked to you Saturday about it. We're on, or else we're going to lose 2 games because of 1. And we cannot let that happen.
Any injury updates? Maybe you said
It looks good right now. Spencer did more. There's no one who played in that game that really was not out here practicing today. So hopefully it will continue, and hopefully we'll get Spencer back for this game.
Coach, Virginia Tech, I think, has a new head coach this year with Brent Pry. What is your exposure to him? I know he was at Penn State for a while, and what kind of do you know about what he might bring to them?
I don't really know him personally. Defensive guy, it's always nice to see defensive guys get jobs. He did a really good job at Penn State. I was at Ohio State just for 1 year. He was there, but we were on the same side of the ball, so we never, I didn't really study it very much. The most I've studied it is now, trying to get ready for the game. So, I have a lot of respect for him. He's done a great job. He's kind of worked his way up as an assistant, was a coordinator for a long time, and got a chance to be a head coach. So it will be, this will be my first time going up against him.
Elijah Jones had a really good game. Just what have you seen from him in the past few weeks to get ready for this role?
Yeah, Elijah was solid. There's plays out there that I'm sure he wishes he could have back. Obviously, the interception was a nice play. Same thing I saw last year. He's consistent. He knows what he's doing, and he's gotten better every single year. I think he's playing at a higher level right now than he did last year. I think his understanding of the game is better. We can use him and move him around a lot more than we did because of that. And he's a guy we're counting on to have a big year. So he played well.
What have you seen from Grant Wells, Virginia Tech quarterback who came from Marshall?
Yeah, first time really studying him. Strong arm, quick release, ball comes out of his hand really well. Can certainly make all the throws. Just watching back a couple things from last year in the spring game, he runs well. He's got quick feet, good feet. He's played a bunch of football, so he had success at Marshall, and I'm sure they're really happy to have him. I think he's a good player, solid quarterback who can run and throw. So I've been impressed with him.
What's it been like having Takis, your new transfer from Notre Dame, as a safety valve for Phil?
It's been great having him. I mean, that tight end room got hit hard with the loss of Joey. And I thought George did a really nice job stepping up. I think he had 2 catches called back, and he would have had, I think, 9 catches in his first appearance.
Right.
I think that's a career day for him. It might have topped his total for last year.
Equals his career total, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all along I said it, George can run. He's fast. And he caught the ball really well, which there were a lot of things I didn't exactly know what we would see in that first game. That was one of them because we hadn't seen much of it. Talking to him today, I kind of joked around with him a little bit. He was pretty gassed. He said he hadn't been tackled like that in a long time because he hadn't caught the ball very much. And he said running routes wore him out a little bit more than just blocking all day. He's an awesome kid, or an awesome man. He's older. And I think you're going to see him have a really good year. And he knows he could have played better too, which is exciting because he's so locked in. But I'm happy for him, and I'm happy to have him. Thanks for asking that question about him.
Did Coach Googe and Coach McNulty look at the offensive line and try to find some things that they could fix up?
Yeah, I think every coach did.
Well, what about the O-line?
100%.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of things that we looked at on the O-line that need to get better. There's no doubt about that. We need to coach it better, they need to coach it better, and we need to execute it better. It's both.
I know for the O-line, you have Jack Conley down at tackle. He was mostly playing right guard. Is that something you like, that matchup against Rutgers, or is that going forward you like him at guard?
Having Jack at guard?
Yeah.
We like Jack at guard, barring we stay healthy. I'd like to let these guys go out and play and grow and get better. It was the first time for most of them playing in a game in consecutive snaps, and the first time 5 offensive linemen, all new, playing together. Moving them around and doing that, unless we have to, it's not going to get us better. I mean, this is an offensive line that I don't think anyone knew what we were going to get. And I said that multiple times. And that was probably, you know, the honest truth. I knew they'd play hard. I know they put in the work. But the goal here is you take this group who's young and haven't played, and they need to be better next week. And I'm probably going to tell you after the next game they need to be better. And hopefully by week 8 or 9, they're way better than they were in week 1. And if they're not, then we have a problem, right? And that's for a lot of guys at new positions. That's our job as coaches, and that's their job as players. We got to coach them every week to improve, and we have to play and execute at a higher level.
But even building off of that, I know you said you look for a lot of improvement from week 1 to week 2. I know you said that a couple times, but just even in practice, the attention to detail, drills, building off of what was asked on Sunday. How have you seen that already develop with the guys
today?
Yeah.
Today, here's where today's a little bit different. There's only one Tuesday to do first and second down. There's only one Wednesday to do third down and red zone. There's only one Thursday to really clean it up, right? I mean, we were in full pads today. We will be tomorrow, and then Thursday we're not. It's not like training camp. You have all this time, and then you get these extra bonus. Like, you better really lock in, and you better be more intent. And the intensity level is higher today. And that's what I wanted to see. I mean, there's probably guys who needed to let a lot out today too, right? I couldn't wait to get back out on the practice field. I mean, I can't wait to get back out on the game field, but you can't. You got to go through it first and earn the right to go back on the field. And I could feel that come out of them today. And was everything perfect today? No. Is it going to be on a Tuesday when we're implementing and going against different schemes? No, it's not. But they need to go, and it needs to be intense, and it needs to be deliberate, and they need to be locked in, and they need to be focused, and they were today. And now our job as coaches is to go clean it up and make it better tomorrow. So hopefully that answers your question.
Pat Garrow had like a career game last year against Virginia Tech. Just talk about getting him going in this game.
Pat's a great player, and we need to run the ball. If we're going to win games this year against good teams, especially on the road when it's going to be loud, we have to run the ball, and we're counting on Pat to do that. So hopefully you'll see that come Saturday night.
The Virginia Tech linebacker's pretty talented.
Yeah, he's a good player.
What sticks out about him and the rest of that group?
Yeah, I think their strength is down the middle of their team. They have a couple interior defensive linemen. I think it's 6, 22, and 3. And then obviously 4 in the middle. And then their nickel's a really good player. So I think their strength is, I think they're very strong in the middle. Ford just plays with his hair on fire. He's a strong guy who makes a ton of plays. He plays with a high motor. He plays with great effort. I saw it last year live. He's a veteran. I think this team's got a bunch of veterans. This is a team that has a lot of guys who have played a lot of football. New staff, I get it, but this is a veteran team, and he's a veteran leader, and he's a really good football player. You better know where he is. He's going to see the ball and go get the ball. That's how he plays the game. I think their corners are long. I think they press well, and our guys are going to have to work really hard on that. But it will be a well-coached defense. I'm sure of that.
How much have you listened to Metallica this week? Getting ready for Lane.
It's playing in the back. It's still playing in my ears as we speak, and I'll probably go to bed hearing it, and tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. So, yeah, it is definitely going to be something that goes through my mind a lot this week.
With veterans in the middle for Virginia Tech and a pretty inexperienced O-line, do you think having George as a veteran blocker helps out a lot?
Yeah, having George, period, helps out a lot. Yeah, he's going to have to help in the run game, too. The thing about George is, where I think George can really excel and take his game to a different level is, George showed last year that he's a really good blocker, and he didn't really get the opportunity to look like a pass catcher. But he needs to be a complete tight end here, not just a guy who runs out and catches 7 balls a game. He's got to help us there as well. And we have to, yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
You guys good?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.